Hey, and welcome to Tuesday. My name is Ultra David.
And my name is James jchensor. How's everybody going?
Nobody knows you as jchensor.
Not anymore, no.
Has anybody ever come up to you, at least in recent years, and said, "Hey, jchensor"?
No.
No. People
Everyone
have definitely said, "Hey, James Chen."
Yeah, no, everyone says James Chen.
Does anybody say James?
People that I know really well.
Well, okay, but I mean,
like random people and stuff like that. Some people be like, "Hey, James," that kind of thing.
Okay.
But definitely more people call me James Chen. Like, "Hey, James Chen,"
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Nobody even recognizes me, or at least they don't say hello if they do. So I don't know.
They do. They say hi to you all the time.
That's not all the time. Quite rare. I mean, as far as random people, like people I've never met go.
Oh, okay. Maybe.
I mean, like people I know, sure,
Yeah,
but
right.
it's very rare that somebody comes up to me, which is cool with me.
Actually, a lot of people call me jchensor now. Thanks.
Do they really?
Yeah, a lot of people do that, and Sanchez distinctively calls me Jimmy C all the time. So.
You're welcome. So in the show, as you can see to my right here, we'll talk about that Mortal Kombat X tournament that happened. We'll talk about the qualifier for Stunfest that happened from Yubiken. We will talk about various upcoming events. We'll talk about various game news. There was a ton, not just Mortal Kombat X, but also Skullgirls and Smash and Killer Instinct.
Right.
And Tekken 7, and there's probably something else I'm missing.
There's a lot of little things going on here and there, yeah. So,
yeah, definitely.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess let's start out with that ESL tournament.
That's right. Very ambitious tournament. ESL decided to, jump on the online tournament scene, and they ran a big old MKX. Like, this is brand new, obviously.
Yeah.
Let's go for it. Online tournament.
Yeah.
And I don't think they were ready. I don't think they were ready for it.
Yeah?
To be honest with you, because there's just a lot of very interesting things that happened.
Well, okay. So I'll tell you what the joint top 3 is. That is to say, like the top 4, because
Oh, right.
it was single elimination. One game.
One game, single elimination.
Right.
Even though you could play online and so you have as many stations as you needed. One game.
It was one game. Winner of the whole thing. If you had to just pick a name out of the hat, which name would you pick?
Sonic Fox.
It was Sonic Fox. Because Sonic Fox hasn't lost an NRS tournament in, I don't know, months.
And to be honest with you, okay, there was over 600 people who signed up for this tournament. There was a lot of people. And a lot of people got randomed out because it's single game, and you don't have time to really adjust if your opponent is a spaz or whatever like that, right? Sonic Fox still took it.
He still took it.
Went through 600 people. Well, I mean, obviously not all of them, but yeah, he made it through a 600 bracket. So.
Right, exactly. So first place was Sonic Fox. Second place was Katana Prime, which is really cool.
Oh, okay.
Long-time player.
Cool.
Out of Florida. And third places were Zyfox and Perfect Legend.
Oh, nice.
So none of those. So it's cool because none of those names are randos. Like those are all like tournament winners / top 3 many times.
Right.
So I think that's really, really cool. Perfect Legend and Zyfox were tied for third.
Dude, did someone say Vi got disqualified because of a troll player?
Really?
That's what someone in chat just said. But
well,
oh man.
So look, the online play for that game is garbage.
Yeah. So you actually finally went online, and you had that. So interestingly enough, I went online twice, and I've had decent experience both times.
Were you playing ranked, or what were you doing?
Ranked.
Okay, I was playing ranked. Okay.
Okay, but so okay. The first time was a player room. The second time I was playing ranked. Now, let me call. Oh, we'll get into the netcode a little bit later on because there's like a bevy of things to talk about for MKX. So,
yeah, there's a whole host of crap.
But needless to say, there was a lot of lag in this event. The netcode wasn't very good, and I just don't think they were ready for 600 people because some people were even reporting like they couldn't report their wins, they couldn't report their matches because the website died and all these things, and everyone wanted to see the bracket, and so the bracket and where you report are hosted on the same site, so everyone kept jumping to the site, and it just like hammered them and stuff like that. So
dang.
That's why I said I just don't think they were ready for it. You know what I mean? I just don't think they were ready for the sheer amount of 600 players coming in to this to this tournament and
Right.
just go nuts with it. So.
Right. Well, that is really cool, though. I mean, it definitely shows that there's a big potential scene, online scene for MKX. This, of course, so they're going to do a series, ESL.
Yes.
It's a weekly thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Wednesday night. I think it starts tomorrow night. The
next
rest
one?
of it, the weekly thing. And it's going to be online, and I really hope that they learned to look. Not all the problems were on ESL's side.
Yeah.
So they can do some things to fix it, like you talked about, right? They can address those issues, and I hope that they do. But ultimately, you're playing MKX online.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if they had this deal lined up before the game came out, which I'm sure they did, because there's no way you could have this all of a sudden, like one week, hey, let's do this. And they even had the pre-tournament, right?
For sure.
Dude, you gotta make sure your netcode is good. You gotta make sure your netcode is good.
I feel bad for some of the people involved. Like, Dustin Kane, Godspeed, is going to be commentating these weekly events. That poor guy, he and Brian Compton have to commentate MKX online as if it were like a real viable thing. And Warner Brothers is putting up like $1,000 each week, and there's, it's in a really unfortunate situation.
So, according to chat, NY Crownless King, he said that a troll player tried to make Vi quit and give him the win, but they could not connect to each other. Vi's connection was fine, the other guy's wasn't, and eventually they both got DQ'd.
They both got DQ'd?
They both got DQ'd, yeah, because they couldn't play their match or something. So.
Wow, that's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Look, certainly you need to fix the single elim.
Yeah.
Double, certainly you need to fix the single game.
Yes.
Even, like, if you're going to have one, if it's one of those two things, can't be single game.
Well, here's the thing, right? I mean, obviously single game has potential to random out, right? So then you got to give someone a loser's bracket chance, right? Or
you need at least one of those things.
Yeah, or if you want to make a single limb, make it, like I said, you're playing online. You have as many stations as you need.
Right. And it wasn't even, they weren't streaming it. So there was no time crunch.
Right. So make it like first of 3. Like, if it's a single limb tournament, make it first of 3. I mean, why not?
That sounds right to me.
So
yeah. I like a lot of what ESL is doing. We talked about this last week. I really liked that Fatal 8 event. I thought they did a really good job. I was impressed because they really seemed to care about the competition.
Right.
There's a lot of people involved there who are fighting game people, and so I want them to fix what they can, because I don't want them to be seen as some negative outside group.
Right. Just want to mention that according to someone in chat, apparently they're changing it to 2 out of 3.
Nice.
Okay. So of course, I mean, I haven't heard anything official yet, but we'll find out soon enough. So.
Okay. Well, I don't know what else to say about that, but other than congrats to maybe we should briefly address the sort of drama that happened afterward. I mean, it's like not even that. So Sonic Fox wins. Some players, including Carl, were like, you lack fundamentals, but you win anyway. And look, I used to be on the train that I didn't think he was very good, to be honest. But that
many wins is hard to argue, right?
You just can't argue.
Plus another thing.
You just can't.
Here's the other thing too. That's on. If you do think that a player doesn't have fundamentals, then that is definitely something that you have to start taking advantage of.
Right.
If you think a player is a YOLO... I mean, I did this when I go online. Like, I have all these crazy options. Dude, I can't get people to stop mashing buttons. I was hitting someone with low punch, like this, and then he uppercutted me, like, right when I stopped doing that. He just must have been
He was mashing it the whole time?
He was mashing it the whole time, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. But, I mean, that's just the way it works. If you know players are going to be like that, then you really just have to... Like, let's say Sonic Fox, I don't know if he was still using Aaron Black, but let's say he was. I remember watching Fatal 8, he'd like to do the slides.
Yeah.
Even the unsafe non-EX one.
Right.
So if you know that, just walk up and try to block a lot and don't do anything. Like, just take advantage of his YOLO nature. If you spot a weakness, take advantage of it, right? And prove that he has no fundamentals.
Exactly.
Because if you're still losing...
If you're losing, it doesn't even matter whether he has fundamentals or not.
Right.
That's not
exactly.
You don't get an award for having fundamentals, right? You either win or you don't.
Right.
Anyway, I think he does have fundamentals. I think this is all that needs to go away. The idea that he's not a good player, because you don't win every single tournament that your scene runs for 6 months,
and every game that you play,
Yeah.
and they're all completely different. Because
Yeah.
he wins Skullgirls, he does well in Uniel, he
Right.
does well in Dead or Alive.
Right.
None of these games are similar at
They're not
all.
the same.
At all. And MK doesn't play anything like the other ones.
Right.
And hell, even MK and Injustice barely play the same in a lot of ways,
Yeah.
you know? So, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
He's a good player, so.
Okay. So that was that. And then in addition, this past weekend there was an event in Japan that was run by Yubiken.
Yes. And it was basically a qualifier to make it to Stunfest in France.
In Street Fighter 4, of course.
In Street Fighter 4, right. And so, do you have the results? You want me to go over them? Because I've got them
Please
here
do.
right now. Okay. So basically, the way that it turned out was that in 7th place was Eita and Pugera. So that's Akuma and Ibuki.
Yep.
Tied for 5th place was Tuna and Sasa, which is Juri and Vega.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a cool character pair right
Agreed.
there. I like that. In 4th place was Ninome, who used Rose. 3rd place was Sekiganryu,
Yeah, Sekiganryu, yeah.
who plays Ryu.
Yep.
2nd place was Inko Rufus.
Inko Rufus.
Yeah, there you go. Always a good Rufus player. And
Sure.
of course, number 1 who won was Santaro, using Sagat and Evil Ryu.
Yubiken's own Santaro.
Yes,
in fact.
that's right. Mhm.
In fact. Good stuff. I really like watching Santaro play. I think he has a really fun Sagat style. I didn't get a chance to see this, but because it was at an hour that was not conducive
Yeah,
to
it's
you know,
Japan,
but-
right? Yeah. I mean, overseas tournaments, that's what happens.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. But I always like watching him play, and I'm really happy for a couple of those players. Inko Rufus. Rufus gets a bunch of crap, right, as a character. He still does well. Inko does. Same with Ryu. Sekigan Ryu.
Right.
3rd place with regular Ryu.
That's right. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm really happy to see that. I really think that Vega's really good, you know, and I really think Juri's really good.
Yeah.
And I'm just always confused why there aren't more of those two. And then, you know, Pugera Ibuki is one of like 3 Ibukis that I even know of.
Exactly.
So
the one that actually honestly confuses me the most is Juri. Because she has that character appeal factor. You know what I mean? Like, we joke about Hakan all the time. Like, I mean, like I think you joked like he could get like all the buffs in the world and no one will win with him because no one will play him, right? Because there's just no character appeal.
Right.
But Juri is a really popular character. People have really liked her and all this stuff like that. Still, no one plays her.
Well, it's the same for Ibuki. Ibuki is, you know, seemingly a popular character, right? But not that many people use her, even though she was really good. Like, both of those characters are arguable top tier, or top 5, I should say. They're both top tier. So, I don't know what the deal is with that, but anyway, so Santaro qualifies for Stunfest in France.
Yes, and apparently Santaro did some sort of minor pop off. I don't know.
So, I don't know what the deal is with players in Japan, especially Sagat players apparently, especially Santaro, because he's talked about this before.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. He is putting $10,000 up against Luffy Rose.
Yes. So Stunfest is in France. So the fact that he qualified and he's going to France, $10,000 money match.
That's a silly amount. I don't care how certain you are.
Right.
It doesn't matter to me if you're 98% certain that you're gonna win.
Right.
I would not bet $10,000 on anything.
Right.
I'd have to be fabulously wealthy before that's even in the back of my mind.
The best thing about it, too, is it was so casual, too, when I looked at the Twitter conversation. Like, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I think it might have been Kim1234 who tweeted, was like, hey, you know, Santaro wants to challenge Luffy to a huge amount of money or whatever like that. And Luffy was like, sure, but let's make it like a lot to make it worth the time or whatever. And they're like, how about $10,000? He's like, okay. That's what it looked like. That's how I read it. But I don't know exactly what. Like, it wasn't like one of these things. You're like, you suck. Oh yeah, well, why don't you put money where your mouth is?
Yeah.
It wasn't anything like that. It was like, hey, you want a money match? All right, how about this much? Okay, cool. $10,000.
That's like what you do for even. In fact, for $50, I think I would be more animated than that.
Right? Dude, I've seen the side betting on Timer more animated probably.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man. But yeah, so apparently at Stunfest, $10,000 money match between Santaro and Luffy.
Needless to say, I will be interested.
I've got to say, though, the Japanese players seem to really have it out for Luffy.
Right?
I think they're mad he won EVO. I think they're
maybe
really, really mad because Asia had been winning the whole entire time. And now there's probably like, no one from the East can ever win EVO, and if they do, we must prove that they are no good or whatever. I don't know, because...
I'll tell you this. If I had to side bet, it would definitely be on Luffy.
Because he knows that matchup.
100% it would be on Luffy.
He knows the Sagat matchup, right?
Yeah.
So
I know that Santaro knows the Rose matchup. I mean, Ninome's in this tournament, so it's not like he gets no Rose experience, right? And I know that for a while he was trying Rose out just to get a grip on character.
Right.
Like for example, Bonchan was doing that also.
Second.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Hey. Oh, then it's even brighter. Excellent. Come on,
camera, you can stay. Dude, it's just gonna be like bumpy.
There's
okay, there it is.
Hey,
Okay, there you go.
What was I saying? I was watching your hand happen. Anyway, so Santaro knows that match,
right.
But Luffy knows the match, and I feel it's in Rose's favor. So when and I've seen Luffy at the absolute biggest stage. It was EVO.
Yes,
he won. Okay, he doesn't have
problems. He won against one of the best Sagats ever.
Absolutely so.
Right.
Absolutely. And if you recall, he had to beat this whole gigantic gauntlet of amazing players to get there. Yeah. So he doesn't. There's not going to be this big stage factor. That doesn't matter for him. Santaro, I've seen a couple of times, but I don't know if that's going to be an issue for him when it comes to $10,000. Luffy has already won that amount of money. Playing Street Fighter 4, right?
Fair enough, yeah.
I don't know everything about this guy, Santaro, but I would wager he hasn't done that yet.
I wonder if he's like Mr. Moneybags or something like that. I don't know, because that's a lot of money. But that's going to happen at Stunfest. That's going to be May 22nd through 24th in France. So that is going to be one hype money match going on there. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if it's a first to whatever or something, but it better be a lot.
Oh,
it better be like first to 25 at least or something crazy like that, dude.
Yeah, what would it like? I can't imagine putting that on 5 games or even. Well, I don't know.
10 games even seems too low,
Because I feel like you have to have such a confidence level. Like I was gonna say, if there are fewer games, that's something that you might ask for if you think that you might not win. You might want to say, oh, let's do first to 4 because I don't feel like I can beat you 30 times, but I can beat you 4 times.
Right. Yeah.
But you don't put $10,000.
First to 10.
Oh, it is first to 10? Okay. All right, I guess that's a reasonable sort of regular number.
Sure. Okay. I mean, it's nothing like when Yipes and Desmond play MVC2 first to 100, randomly on a stream. Jesus.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay.
Dang.
First to 10 for 10. So it's like every game you win is like $1,000.
Wow.
Every game you win. Can you imagine if that was what it was like on the ESL tournament? Win a game, $1,000.
Oh my god. Playing randos online for $1,000 each. Jeez.
That'd be stressful.
That would suck.
Oh man.
Well, okay. So that's like you said. It's Stunfest coming up in about a month, a little over a month. Yeah. Anything else as far as results from this past weekend?
The other thing that I kind of wanted to bring up now, unfortunately, I don't know all the details about this, but MVG Sandstorm this weekend, which was in Arizona, Smash event.
Right.
And apparently there was drama that happened. It was a bad experience for viewers. Like things kept going wrong here and there. And D1 apparently was doing his best job trying to keep things together. And even during grand finals, the power went out. So, which was unfortunate too, because West Balls with Falco was like beating everybody.
That's cool.
He beat Mango and all this stuff, and apparently, I mean, I'm not familiar enough with Melee to, quantifiably say this, but apparently Falco's been dropping down a little bit and
right.
stuff. So
it seems like he's showing up less.
Yeah, so it was really impressive that he won. He gets in the grand finals versus Armada. The power goes out, and then everyone finds out Armada won, basically. So
that sucks.
Yeah, so I heard from a lot of the players that the event was fun. But I think from the viewer standpoint, there was just a lot of problems, things going wrong. Some people saying in the chat that, that it was terrible and all sorts of things like that, so that it was going really bad.
That sucks.
So, yeah, and it started prompting all this discussion between a lot of the leaders in the Smash community, like how many times, like, you shouldn't try to run huge events, because everybody was there. Like, Leffen was there, Armada was there, like, all those guys made it out to this event, right? So they got a lot of people out there, and I guess, if you're going to have an event like that, then, hopefully it'll be a situation where it's a smoothly run tournament. But, even Jabali got in the mix, was like, and talking to Prague, and was like, people should stop trying to run big events, until they run a bunch of small events first, and then get up to that level. And then I think it was Fly Amanita had this big long string of tweets where he was just like, we have to start really just going with TOs that we trust, we need to really start thinking of it that way, because too many people are trying to get into it all of a sudden. Like, everybody's like, a big Smash event, and it's like getting a problem. And, the FGC kind of had that problem. I remember the first Road to Capcom, there was like 17 events on there, and it was like, here's this small event, here's this thing here, and like all these people are trying to run fighting game events. So
there were a bunch of tournaments starting in maybe like 2010 or 2011. Remember, it felt like there was something every single weekend, and a lot of them, not a lot, but some of them were from people who couldn't run tournaments or who were just disreputable and just screwed people. And ultimately, I think we've mostly run those people out of town as far as running tournaments goes. Yeah. But that did take a couple of years. Yeah. That was not a quick process.
So I mean, it still feels like sometimes that there's a lot of events, even in I don't want to call it fighting game community proper or whatever, but the non-Smash side of things. But I mean, even right now, there's been a decent break, for the past few weeks and stuff like that. So it's not nearly as crowded as it was before.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, it was rough on us for a little while.
Yeah, but unfortunately,
Oh, the esports desk? Oh, I laughed at that for like 10 minutes. Oh, that was so funny. So it's just a little piece of paper inside a plastic thing.
Yeah, so if people on YouTube, someone linked to the esports desk picture. If you haven't seen it, just go look for it somewhere. I don't know where you'll find it.
Somebody linked it to me. I don't know where it comes from even. For me, it was completely out of context. I have no idea what the context
I just
is.
saw a picture of it. Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, for more information on the MVG Gaming, I mean, it's very unfortunate for them now, because some people are like, should we trust them and stuff? And I'm sure they have nothing but good intentions and such like that. But again, if you do plan on running an event, try to do, I mean, even like when Vi ran the online Wednesday night fights, right? Yeah. He ran just a bunch of tournaments beforehand by himself. He was just like, let's just do it. He did it for like 2 months. He was just running. And he's even doing it with Mortal Kombat. He's running a few casual Mortal Kombat events and online events and stuff like that too. That's what you got to do, right? And Vi is not, and the reason why he got SCR to that point is because he ran Wednesday night fights a bunch of times, et cetera, et cetera. Right? Yeah. Spooky's a great streamer because he streams every week at NLBC.
You just get, it's like anything, you get practice, and as you practice, you get better at it. But there are always issues, like even just, look, how many tournaments has John Choi run? I don't know, a lot. Yeah. But at this past NCR, there was still a big issue. Things always happen, so you can't entirely get rid of things happening. The question is, how well do you do at trying to avoid those things, and then how well do you recover?
Yeah, I've always said, if you spend all your time as a TO trying to prevent disasters, like honing your skills at preventing disasters, you won't succeed, because the disasters are going to happen. Right. It's really about how fast you can recover from the disasters, Yeah. So that's the key right there. So
I hear that.
Okay.
Oh man, that picture is just cracking me up. Look at this? There's just like a plaque in the background. What do you think that's about?
I shouldn't be laughing as much. Oh my god. Okay, anyways.
What do you think about that font?
The font that he used?
The esports desk
the,
font.
The most basic font.
The most basic possible font.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's amusing, but not necessarily part of this show, so let's move on. Anything else about existing, having already happened majors? I don't think so.
No. We're good on that, so...
Okay.
But there are definitely some stuff coming up. Do you want to take a break, talk about those first? What do you want to do?
Yeah, let's take a little break.
Okay.
And when we come back, we'll talk about upcoming events, and then we'll get to game news.
That's right.